Hey everyone, I'm back with another gameplay video. We're playing Domain Zoo again today. This time I've got a build that's based off of one that recently top 8'd MTGO challenge, and I've made some small tweaks to it based on that player's input as well as just kind of my own thoughts. Starting off here, we are running 3 Preordain. I've done a little testing with Preordain. This time I will be playing with Tarmogoyf. So this is not, I traditionally have not liked Tarmogoyf very much, but giving it another shot because Preordain is a sorcery and that kind of boosts Tarmogoyf's effectiveness. There is still a lot of Bolt in, Modern, and I think there's just kind of always going to be that, but I would say it has seemed to have gone down a little bit, although maybe with Murktide coming back and a lot of Murktide lists playing Bolt, then that's will change. Because I know for a while some of the scam lists had trimmed on Bolts in favor of Fatal Push, so we'll see how Tarmogoyf fares today. We can think of, well, like when I'm playing it or when I have it in hand, if it'd be better if it was a brawler and the trade-off there. I do like Preordain a lot to kind of dig for lethal burn spell as well as kind of digging for more action. It can also find you that third land drop that you need sometimes for the deck to function, things like that. So I think it's actually a good fit in this shell. The rest of the list is pretty much stock. We do have one Tarfire, and that's to give that tribal type in the graveyard. Again, a little boost to Tarmogoyf. It also is kind of one more burn spell you could find. It is just a shock though, but one more burn spell maybe you can find with Preordain or to find lethal. Moving on to the the other change I have is I am including Overgrown Tomb in the main deck, and I've got the planes in the sideboard, which is the original pilot of this deck put planes in the main deck and then just removed Overgrown Tomb entirely from the 75. This is what I'm going to try today. I don't have a strong opinion about it other than I usually like Overgrown Tomb to just allow for those most aggressive starts to play your Scion, play 1-drop, 2-drop, and then Scion on turn 3 to give like Goyf or Kavu trample. So I do like using Overgrown Tomb for that. And then moving on to the sideboard, see most of the usual suspects: Chain of the Rocks from Murktide and Scam, primarily also good against Prowess. Flusterstorm for your Cascade matchups. Natural State, that's going to be good for Amulet Titan. Can be good against Tron, Hammer Time, things like that. Tear Asunder is also going to be good against Hammer Time, Tron, Ring decks. Good against, I even like it against Murktide and Scam, although Murktide's lower now on Blood Moon, but I think I'll still see it out there. I do like it against a lot of decks. The basic planes, like I said, is in the sideboard, so what's likely to happen depending on the matchup. If I'm going against a Burn or Prowess, I'm probably going to cut a Preordain to put planes back in the board. Preordain's just not that great against like those really fast decks like Burn and Prowess, although maybe not Prowess, because Prowess matchups can tend to get very grindy, but definitely against Burn, it's just not that useful. You're not going to use all your spells in your hand, and so you don't really need like cantrips against Burn. And then sometimes in the early, you don't want to be fetching Shocking on turn 1 anyway to use it, so that's what I found. But that's the idea. And then against maybe like Murktide and Blood Moon decks like Murktide Scam, I'll trim on something else, keep the Preordains in there. Or sorry, I'll trim on probably trim on a Flooded Strand to bring in the planes, just to have that extra basic to kind of play around Blood Moon. We are playing Tarmogoyf, so we don't want to play Rest in Peace. Now, I've seen some lists that play 2 Tarmogoyf. You can play Rest in Peace to, and kind of swap them in and out, but I think I want to play the full play set of Tarmogoyf, so I have to play some other artifact or some other graveyard hate. So what am I playing? I've got 2 Tormod's Crypts. I've seen some lists play Nile Spellbomb. I don't really have a strong opinion of either one of them. My thought of Tormod's Crypt, though, is that normally when you're playing this card, when you want to bring Graveyard Hate for a matchup, you really want it in the early game. So I like that Tormod's Crypt doesn't kind of disrupt your curve of being able to still stay aggressive, and you don't need to pay that 1 mana to use it. So that's my thought process. I thought that was more valuable than the potentially being able to play a black mana to, draw a card off Nile Spellbomb. We just don't hold up mana that often. Black mana also can be harder to come by. So that was my idea with Tormod's Crypt. We'll see how I like it. I've also got one Unlicensed Hearse. This is very good against Jund, Scam, Murktide, things like that. And then we do have a split of Engineer Explosives, Filigree Sylex. That's going to be for your Rhinos matchups, going to be for your Hammer Time matchups, Prowess, anything where you're trying to wipe the board. We can't play Hidetsugu because it's Nombos with our other with Goyf, so that's what we're going with today. I'm going to try to play this as tight as I can. I am using some cards I'm not used to, mostly Tarmogoyf, so it should be straightforward, but we'll give that disclaimer. We're going to mulligan this. We got no lands, so pretty easy one. I don't really want to keep a 4-lander that does nothing, so I think I'd go to 5. 1-lander with Preordain, so with 2 Preordains and Stub. So what we could do is we could play Nacatl turn 1 and then try to Preordain on turn 2 into a land. Alternatively, I think this is a keep. Let's bin a Stub for sure. And maybe bin a Preordain. The question is, do I want to risk it? Should I Preordain on turn 1 and then just like guarantee, let me look at 4 cards, or should I get pressure on board? I think I'm going to get pressure on board. The question is, do I want the second stub or the second Preordain? I think Preordain is definitely a little clunky as a 2 of. We could also brick, which would be very awkward. So removal spell, stub. I don't know. I don't know what's correct here. I think maybe that wasn't the correct move, but we're going to go Nacatl turn 1 because we're on the play. And then this also insulates us in case the discard spell removes one of the Preordains. We still have another one. So, of course, this is kind of a clunky hand. We don't have a lot going on, but we can Preordain into more action. I'm going to go Swamp. Let's see if we get scammed or if it's Jund. I guess if we get scammed, he has to take both Preordains maybe, but then I have Tribal Flames in case I top deck a land. I can get rid of the grief. Okay, looks like we're getting scammed. Let's see what he takes. Again, these Preordains could be anything, so suspect he might take those, but no, he's going to go to the Tribal Flames. Okay, so this is where I was hoping Preordain would give us a boost in this matchup, and I think it will, just because, Preordain can be anything in this situation, and they just destroyed my hand, but we can draw our way out of this, maybe. Okay, so we get a land, so let's still... So normally you would want to fetch before you Preordain in case you want to set up your draws. I guess the downside of that is I could Preordain into a removal spell or a red 1-drop, in which case I would want to not do that. So I think I'm going to try to Preordain first, just because the upside is worth it in case I find a bolt. Then I can go ahead and bolt plus, yeah, I can bolt here. So I think it's worth the upside. Okay, so we get a Ragavan. So if I play Ragavan here, the issue is I'm weak to Fury. He blows me out with Fury. I could bin both these because I can't really play Scion right now and try to find a removal spell or another creature. I could put Ragavan in hand, just get Triome, attack for 3. I guess it's likely he has a Fury, so let's play around Fury. Let's take... I think we'll just dig for a removal spell. I think we're just going to go with that plan. Okay, we get Kavu, which is fine. Get our Savai Triome to get our 5 types. And again, with Preordain, you can do a lot of different stuff. So this will show us what my opponent has. Maybe he doesn't even have red mana. But I think it's smart to not just, lose entirely if we play Ragavan there. And Dashing Monkey, I don't know, it gets me a ton. Let's see if he goes with Dothy here. Again, we're going to just keep trying to dig as deep as we can to try to find that removal spell for grief, because that's how he's ultimately going to kill us. Thinking either Dothy or Void Bowmaster, but probably Dothy if he's mean facing this right now. He's at 14. Yeah, okay. So again, the race is still on. Okay, we get Scion of Draco. So Scion is advantageous because he can't Fatal Push it. But it is also a slower clock, and I can't dig as fast. So we'll attack, put my opponent at 11. So now, let's see, we go, if he fetch shocks here. If he fetches, he'll go to 10. He'll be dead to bolt. So I think we want to play Scion just in case he has Fatal Push in hand. Obviously, he has Terminate. We live with it. But I think we're going to just try to do what we can here. And now, of course, he could not fetch, and then I could top deck Bolt. That would punish me. Kavu can also dig for stuff, but I don't want to loot cards necessarily with Kavu because I give him a Dothy. So let's see what he's got here. You could just have Terminate on Scion, and then I'll probably lose. The other important thing about Scion is it can't get chumped by Bowmaster, so that could also be an upside reason to play it. You could also argue I could have not attacked there, but then I'm weak to the next scam. So I guess I can't really play around it. He doesn't even play a land here. I get a Foothills. So now I just lose, right? I could have played Kavu, potentially looted 1 deeper. I guess I don't lose, so I can attack with... So I'm dead to Bolt no matter what. If he has Terminate, Dothy's going to get through. Let's go play this to attack or not. So he would need double removal spell to kill me. I think I don't attack here to play around if he has 1 Terminate. If he scams me again, I have a land in hand, so I don't care. I'm going to try to loot that land, though, because I could do 7, but if he has Bowmaster, I just lose. Yeah, okay. So, am I dead? I think I am. Right, 3 plus 1. Yeah, okay. Well, we got scammed. Even with Preordain, we tried to dig 11 cards deep, couldn't find another removal spell. It happens. They did the thing. Oh, and he's got Fury, too. Is he just going to scam a Fury, too, just to really get me good? Looks like he okay. Again, we lost. Okay. Well, they did the scam thing. What do you know? The deck's pretty good. I guess the question is, do I bring in Tormods or not? On the play, it's more viable. It shuts off their scam. Maybe Hearse is better. So we want Chained. We want Hearse. Want Tormods. Want Plains. Take out one land. Take out on the draw. Sorry, on the play. Stub, I like to trim on stubs in this matchup because it's just not that impactful. We're on the play. Tribal Flames, it's good on the play, but I always trim another stub. Stub's better on the play than the draw, but I think I found it just to be kind of clunky against Scam. Maybe I don't need Tormods. I don't know. I guess it's bad if they don't have... It stops Scam, but like if they don't have Scam, then it's like pretty bad. Although I guess it can also exile like Kroxa and Spyro tokens. I don't know if I'm supposed to play it or not. I don't even know if I'm supposed to play Hearse. Again, I usually play with these cards on my sideboard, so we're kind of doing some experimentation here to see. Did I bring in Tear Asunder? I might not have. No, I did. No, I didn't bring in Tear Asunder. Okay, so we're on the draw. I'll probably bring in Tear Asunder. This hand's clunky because of basic planes, classic. This hand is fine, I guess. Then we keep this. The downside is if we scam it, we're in the exact same place as last game, but we just have a lot of lands. They scam us, so we can go green, white. No, we can go green, blue. So what do we want to bottom? Tomb. All right, we're just going to start with our Nacatl. This is just so next turn we can, if we don't draw anything useful, we can go Triome and then Preordain to get 5 types. Again, we might just get scammed again, so opponent did keep 7, but it is what it is. Like, if they have the scam, the deck is good. If they don't have the scam, the deck's not good. Mysterious Pass. So that leads me to believe they kept 7 and they don't have scam. They're either going to try Fury us or they're going to Blood Moon us. Should be able to play around both pretty well. And Chain of the Rocks is handy. So let's play our Flooded Strand. So we're back into that awkward position where if we Preordain now and we draw a red thing that's like Monkey, I guess, would be the only thing. So yeah, we're not going to. We'll play Flooded Strand. We will crack this. Let's see if he has a bolt or something. So I'm expecting Fury Scam or Blood Moon. But again, it's much easier to play around Blood Moon on the play than on the draw. Especially in this case when I have a Windswept Heath. So I can just go... we can Preordain now. We kind of expose ourselves to discard. But at the same time, I think that's okay. I think we're just going to use our mana efficiently. Okay, so this is actually good. So we can put, we'll put Kavu on top and then put Tormods on top of Kavu. Tormod's coming in clutch. So now we can stop any scam thing. And this is where, again, obviously who knows what my opponent's going to do, but now things look a little better. You know, this now, right in this situation, it looked better to have Tormod's than Spellbomb because I couldn't have played Spellbind. Now, if he tries to scam Fury, I can crack it. So now he's kind of turned off from that line. I mean, you can still do it, obviously, to force me to crack, but it maybe, yeah, we'll see. Again, he at least can't take everything now. Okay, so we know we're getting Kavu here. Here we want to go Scion. We're going to play land and play Scion pre-combat in case he tries to chump with the Orc. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. So we can decide if we want to get green mana or white mana here, depending on what my opponent plays this following turn. Again, I'm expecting Blood Moon. I don't know what other 7 you keep that doesn't have a scam effect. Goes Bowmasters and wants to trade, that's fine. Like maybe what he's doing. Yep. Again, he can't chump now. So he's going to... I actually find... Like, we'll see how he does this. Looks like he is going to do this. But I mean, he's kind of trading down with this transaction. Like, he's paying 2 mana to kill my 1 mana creature. So this is a good transaction for me. Yeah, and I'm expecting turn 3 Blood Moon. He could Fury me and then turn 3 Blood Moon me. I think I can get basic force, so I'll play my Kavu out. I think that's going to be more important than Chain because he can't scam with the Crypt there. So we know he doesn't have a 1 mana removal spell. We know he doesn't have Thoughtseize in hand. I'm so confused what he's trying to do right now. But sure. I have no idea what my opponent's hand is, unless he's trying to play like Shieldred or something. Okay, attack with Scion. Okay, so the question is, do I want to go wide here? Or am I worried about him bringing in Shieldred? And I think if he had Blood Moon, he would have jammed it there. So I guess there's also a world where he... See, this would be a 2-2. Like, he Blood Moons me plus Furies me. and then just wipes my board. I could try to play around that. Could also just not play Scared of Shieldred. If you play Shieldred, I have Kavu. And I have Chain, so I think I like that line better. So I should have maybe fetched differently. I don't think so. See if he tries to Fatal Push my Kavu. Does not. Again, the blowout here would be Blood Moon plus Fury, because it'll wipe my whole board. But if I could play around it, I guess. I just think he would have played Blood Moon last turn when he had the chance to. But maybe I'm wrong and I'm just going to get blown out now. This is maybe what's exactly happening, so I shouldn't have played into it. I could have just played Kavu, held Nacatl. But I mean, it's a discard deck too, so that's not necessarily a great play. Yeah, so let's see if he has Fury too. He probably does with all the cards in hand. And then he wipes my board. Okay, he doesn't. Wow. Again, I don't know what my opponent's hand was. I just loot Chain of the Rocks here. Can't cast it. Attack for 4. Also can't cast Binding, but there's a world where I can cast Binding later, maybe. I don't know, maybe that's not correct. I'm expecting him maybe hard cast Grief, but he was missing a land drop there. Again, no Fury there. Which tells me something. Maybe he's waiting to hard cast Fury. He's trying to like milk it for a few turns. Or I'm just gonna get blown out, but okay. Again, he could go Bowmaster here and trade with stuff. I can't really play around it. Although if I draw another land, I can play Jegantha, which is pretty handy. Okay. I think we're going to play around Bowmaster and not loot right now. It seems counterintuitive, but it's what we're going to do. I don't want him to be able to grow Bowmaster and like trade with everything. Look how smart we are. So again, he can ping Kavu and trade with Kavu, but he can't trade with my whole board. And now he's going to have to deal with Jegantha when he already used to Terminate. Again, he could have another one. I'm guessing he's waiting to hard cast a Grief. That's my only thing, is like, I don't know what else he'd be doing right now. My opponent hasn't really done much besides resolve the Blood Moon, which I kind of played around decently well. You know, I got a little punished because I drew Binding. So, you know, if I had gone in Plains there, then, you know, maybe things will work out better. But he's like, my opponent doesn't have much going on. There's a world where he has another Bowmaster, and Kyle's good. Okay, so he has second Bowmaster. He will ping +1. He could trade with Jegantha for second Bowmaster, but I think I'm okay with that at this point. Right, because he'd ping plus... No, I guess he'll be 1 damage short, I think. You could also argue to use Binding here, but I don't think that's correct. Yep. So again, he's going to do the same play he did last game, but now he's going to have to either chump a Jegantha or take 5. I'm not sure what he's going to do with this. Okay. I'm going to let this go because I think he's trying to bait me into cracking the Tormods. I'm not going to yet. I think he has a way to kill this Jegantha. So you can say that was like a bad exchange, but I actually think it's fine. I know he's holding something better in hand. He's probably got Grief or Fury Scam in hand. Maybe that wasn't the correct play. So it's possible. He's going to start attacking me. Again, if he has another Undying spell, then he has another Undying spell. I think I just do this. If he has third Bowmaster, he's got third Bowmaster. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Although I could take 3, I guess. It's not the worst. Stop having these spells. Okay. I think I have to do it on this one. If he has, like, again, if he has Scam Fury at this point, then he had, like, he just had it. Okay, he did not. Flooded Strand doesn't really help me. I think we just attack with everything. It's at 5. I don't think there's a reason to play this land. I could keep it to loot to Kavu. Not expecting him to attack. He could have a third Undying spell. Kavu's good. Again, I'm confused what my opponent actually has in hand, but that's what it is. If it's third Undying spell, it's third Undying spell, and I live with it. Doesn't look to be. It's at 3. No Fatal Push. Grief? Like, I don't know what it could be in hand. I really thought he was trying to bait me into, you know, like doing the Fury Scam, but then he just had the second Undying spell, so I was like, okay, I don't know what your plan was. I have no idea what he had in hand. He has 6 cards in hand. So maybe he just got mana screwed and he was trying to like play stuff out, and I'm not sure. All right, we got there with Jegantha. Tormod seemed pretty good. Maybe it's bad on... So we're on the draw now. So there is a world where Tormod isn't good. He could still scam on turn 1, kill me. Although, I don't know, it seemed pretty good there. It stops Scam Fury, which I feel like is like a big deal. Let's take 1 less monkey on the draw. Obviously he has Blood Moon, but he also... Let's just try this out. I guess we could cut it Flames for Tear Asunder. We could cut second monkey. I don't know. I don't love cutting a lot of monkeys against a deck. There's also maybe Tarfire's just not that good because it doesn't kill Scammed Grief. And maybe we do the second Tear Asunder instead. Something like this. Let's give this a shot. Maybe we could cut all WDs on the draw. Maybe Hearse is too slow on the draw and you just take it out. I don't know. Perfect hand. Okay, so we got no lands. That's going to be the first issue. And also, why I have to ship this hand. Bro. Okay, so I guess you bring in 2 Tormod's Crypt and then you get hands like this that literally do nothing. I can't keep this, but I don't like mulliganing to 5. But I only have 1 land. Okay, this is better. Again, not great against scam stuff. Get rid of Breeding Pool, Flooded Strand. Give us maximum flexibility. Maybe Tormod's isn't good. You're kind of like trading a card, but I don't know, whatever. If he scams me turn 1, then it is what it is. Okay, he does not. So this is very exciting. Okay, so now we're back in this weird position, right, where if I go, let's see, he has a Thoughtseize deck. He could be setting up for turn 3 Blood Moon. So if I go Temple Garden to play Nacatl because I'm afraid of Bowmaster, and then next turn play red-blue, I think what we're going to do here is, I mean, it's also bad, I suppose, if I play Scion on turn 2 and he just Blood Moons me on turn 3 and then like Fury Scion. So maybe it is smart to just go green-white, but then I can't really play around Blood Moon that well that way. Although with this hand, I can't play around Blood Moon that well at all. So maybe I just run my Nacatl out. I go fetch green-white, run my Nacatl out. Turn 2, fetch Forest. Turn 2, I guess I don't really have a play right now, so I can... Okay, I think I'm going to do that. So normally you wouldn't want to... Well, we can get basic Forest with Foothills, so let's go Windswept Heath, Temple Garden, Wild Nacatl. Which seems weird because you're like Scion in hand, you want to get 5 types, but I'm trying to be smart about playing around Blood Moon as well. So there's a world where he Blood Moons me and I get basic Forest here and I just have green or red and I go from there. This is to play around Bowmaster and this is to stop his scam. Again, unclear if Tormod is actually good against scam, but it seemed decent last game. I'm more worried about Scam Fury than Scam Grief, I think. I can't do much about Scam Grief, but again, looking like he probably has... So here's the fundamental issue, right? Because if I swing with the Wild Nacatl, he likely has Bowmaster, and I could bolt one of them, but then I'm at red, blue, green. It's a little awkward. I could not swing. That's not very smart either, though. I don't think. I need to apply pressure here. Not swing. He plays Blood Moon. I get Forest. I have green, red. I try to make it work. I attack. He Bowmasters me. The problem is if I don't... It's kind of like this. Like, I can fetch this to get the types, but it's bad. Maybe I just don't attack with Nacatl. That seems bad, too, because I need to apply pressure. I think I don't know. I don't think it's correct. I think it's just really bad for me if I go Nacatl, swing, he plays Bowmaster, trades with Nacatl, I crack the fetch. Like, that's fine, that transaction occurs, but then he can Blood Moon me next turn, and I have no basics in play, and I'm kind of in trouble. So I think we have to wait here. As awful as it feels, I think that's going to be our move. So now, let's see if he goes Blood Moon. We can get the basic Forest, and then we can still be in business here. Okay, now if he goes Blood Moon, he's going to hurt himself. Okay, he goes Fable. All right, it's fine. Can't really attack. Unless he just wants to trade stuff. Okay, what do we do now? Right, so we need 5 types to play Scion. Definitely want to get Scion on board. We definitely want to kill this Goblin Shaman. So if you get red, blue... So maybe we go for Savai Triome to get us black. And then... Where is it? What am I missing? So any way to get blue... this is not great. Because he can still Blood Moon me next turn, and then I'm kind of in trouble. But maybe I'm not with Scion on board, and I just play through it. Could be more mana efficient to shock here, but my life total does matter. Okay. Well, we know we're going to crack this. So it's just awkward because I got Temple Garden first, and I played around Blood Moon, but it is what it is. I can get green, white, red, blue, and then Tomb next turn. Or I have to take a lot of damage to do this, which isn't great. Alternatively, I could get this now, and then I'm just missing red. Nope, I still have to shock. If I do this, I'm missing blue. Life total does matter here, so I'm trying to think this through. So we were missing blue if I do this. I think that's fine. Let's get punished if I draw something like better. Okay, Leyline Binding is interesting. Is that better than Bolt in this case? Could be to blow him out. Let's see how he blocks here. Could have given it trample. I guess we ended up shocking anyway, so maybe it didn't make a difference. Now we can hold up Bolt and Binding. And begin combat, we can kill a Shaman token so he doesn't get mana from it. Maybe here I Binding because of Bolt is good if he Blood Moons me, or Binding's kind of dead. I think I might go with that line. See what he discards here. Discards Undying Malice, okay. Terminate on Scion, okay. Okay, looks like Blood Moon's not going to happen, so I'm going to just Bolt him now with this. Okay, so no Undying spell in hand, or he doesn't want to use it. Tear Asunder is interesting. We could Tear Asunder to, in response to the Fable flipping, we could, I don't think we want to bind or anything yet, so I think we just wait. If he chumps, it's not, okay. Could it mean another Bowmaster in hand, or he's just trying to race and thinks he's going to win. If he tries a hard cast of Grief, that would be my dream. Attack for 2. For 1. Or if there's any world where he tries to block and then Undying or Reflection, I guess I can crack the Tormod, so I don't really care about that. Okay, he decides to do it this time. Do you have Bowmaster? You don't. Okay. Play land, get a basic Tear Asunder, the Reflection, hold up Binding. Could Undying it by Tear Asunder. No, it's Exile effect, never mind. Okay. Let's cast. I think I want to do this now so he can't make any copies of anything. Nope, no. Just lost the game. Actually, maybe not, because I could bind in response to him creating the token. Oh, sorry, I thought I had to stop at my end step, which I guess I don't. Okay, we're okay though. Yeah, I've been taking a lot of time with this game. I think this was correct, though. Now you can create a copy of Bowmaster. I can bind the Bowmaster, and he has nothing. Tries to scam the Grief. I crack the Tormods. 4 minutes left, which isn't a lot of time. So he Undyings this. Was he another Undying spell for the Grief? Oh, this creature's not dying. I think he's punting here. Okay, that's not going to die. It's exiled. Yep. Played it masterfully. Okay, we have 4 minutes to win. Should be enough time. Ooh, Hearse, baby. Oh, baby. Is it better to get Jegantha than Hearse? Could be. Player cards. Okay. I hope this doesn't go to time. Okay, got punished for not grabbing Jegantha. Maybe I just should have. He has discard effect. He's got discard effect. Okay. Just fire it off. So it's dead to a lot of things. I'm running low on time. Oops, I should have. I just punted there. Okay, Goyf. Oh yeah, I just punted. I could have had the win. I guess I have the win anyway. So, I just recrew. He has Fatal Push. He has Fatal Push. All right. We got there. Okay, so was Goyf better than Unlicensed Hearse? Or sorry, better than Brawler? Unclear. It would have been the same here. We saw it late game. I will say though that Tormod's was much better than Rest in Peace versus Scam specifically. And I think you could also argue that Unlicensed Hearse was like Rest in Peace at any of these points would have been dead, especially now that Scam's not really playing Season Pyro, which was one of the big reasons, not one of the big reasons, but another reason to Rest in Peace. But now they're not doing that. So I don't know. I really like the 0 mana just like sit here and like disrupt my opponent's game plan. Like I think legitimately his last card in hand was probably Fury, and he spent the entire game not being able to cast Fury because this was sitting right there as a 0 mana spell. So like his whole explosive game plan against us just doesn't work. And of course he can always try to like Undying things, but like some of them I don't care about. So I'm just going to sit here and wait until he tries Undying a Fury or a Grief. Now we did get helped that he punted it and tried to Undying his other spell. So that allowed us to Undying the Reflection against an exile based effect. So that's what allowed us to basically blow him out that turn. If he hadn't done that, played it correctly, he would have Undying his Grief, and I would have cracked Tormod's anyway. So, or I could have used the Binding, because he would have just taken the Binding anyway. So that worked out, I guess. Right? He would have saved the Undying spell, and then I would have let Grief ETB probably bind the Orc, and then he have nothing in hand, and he tries to scam, and I can crack Crypt. So it would have been the same, but now I have Crypt in play too, so it ended up working out.